All right, the number of students enrolled at a college is 15,000 and grows at 4% each year. Write an equation to find out the number enrolled after 25 years. So we got multiple parts. So what I'm going to do is realize, first I want to realize that there's a percent, so it's not linear. It's going to grow exponentially. So I'm going to make a table out of this. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up. Okay. And we can number these as years. Okay. That's our n value. And enrollment, okay, or students enrolled, and that's going to be my T of n. Okay. So I got a year 0, okay, 1. I'm not going to go all the way to 25. I'm going to use the equation to do that, but I'm just going to get a couple set up here. So I start with 15,000. Okay. And so I'm going to increase by 4% a year. So I'm going to figure out what 4% is, and so you can turn that into a decimal. And the easiest way to do that is, remember that percents are out of 100. So I'm going to take 4% divided by 100, and that's 0.04. Or some of you guys kind of do 2 decimal places over, right? But there you go, 0.04. So 0.04 times 15,000 is 600. Okay? So if I want to figure out this first year after the fact, okay? So it's not 600, right? It's increased by 600. So it's 15,000 plus 600. Right? So it's 15,600 after a year, and then I can, right, so I add that to my 15,000, sorry, not 1,500, 15,000. And then, okay, if I want to figure out the next year, I'll multiply that by 0.04 again, and then increase by 624, plus that previous year, which is 15,600, and that's what we have after 2 years. Okay. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is, okay, let's make our equation. Okay, so this is an exponential equation. So this is going to be, we'll use T of n or f of x, whatever you want to say, but it's going to be the 0 term, right, times the common ratio to the n. Okay, so the 0 term is what we start with, so we know that. So T of 0 is 15,000. Okay. Then we need our R value, and our R value, which is the common ratio, comes from T of n plus 1, all divided by T of n, which is a fancy way of saying take any right one divided by a left one. Okay, so 15,600 divided by 15,000. Okay. And that equals 1.04. So that's what I need to, so what does that tell me? This tells me what I need to multiply this number by to find the next one. So when we did it originally, we kind of did it the long way. So let's just test it. So I'm going to put 15,000, I'm going to multiply this times 15,000, and it better equal after 1 year. And it'll, yeah, it worked, 15,600, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and set up my equation over here. So it's going to be T of n equals the 0 term, or what I started with, times that to the end. So now we want to find 25 years. So 25 years is equal to when n equals 25. So I'll just punch this into my calculator. Okay. So I got 1.04 to the 25th power is 2.6. All right. So I'm just going to leave that in my calculator. I'm going to multiply it by 15,000. And that's what I get right there, 39,000. 0.5. Now we can get into the fact that it's students, so we should probably got to round that up to 39,988, or you can cut it off however you want to look at it. So now let's look at a situation where it decreases. Okay, so we'll go a little bit quicker here. So the population is 45,000. All right, so we'll call this N and T of N. So it starts at 45,000. Okay, and then it decreases by 2%. Okay, so what I'll do is find out what 2% is. Okay, so 2 divided by 100, that's 2% as a decimal, 0.02. I'm going to multiply that by my 45,000. Okay, so that's how much it decreased by. So what's my population after a year is 45,000 minus 900. And that is my population after a year. Okay, so it decreases 2% every year. If the trend continues, what will the population be after 15 years? All right, so I can continue, but that's enough information that I need. So I need T of 0 was what I started with. That was 45,000. I need R, which is the right minus the left. Okay, so I'll put that. I still have that in my calculator. I'll divide that by 45,000, and that's 0.98. Okay, and that's my R value. So then I can write my equation. T of N equals the starting amount times the common ratio to the N. And I want to find after 15 years, so I'm going to make this a 15, the N of 15. Okay, so I still have that point. So I got 0.98 raised to the 15th, and it equals that. So I get 45,000